Markets are still looking pretty weak at the moment. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, drop in anytime with your questions or anything you have about the market. I'll go ahead and reply as soon as I see it. Anything that's on your mind, just drop it in. We'll talk. Otherwise, I'm just going to do my stuff. Hello, hello. How's it going? How are you doing, Mohammed? Hope all is well. Hi. So looks good. Just drop in and let me know if you guys can hear the audio pretty well and the video is great as well. This is more abrupt than usual, but that's because I'm going to do a few hours of work for myself. You guys can join in. Ask whatever questions you want about the market or in general about anything. And if I can, I will answer. If I cannot, I will state I cannot. So go ahead, put in your vote. Make sure you subscribe. And we do this pretty much every day at about 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So you'll see us at post-market close. We'll come in and speak about the market and what's happening. This week, the market ends on Friday. I'm going to mostly do a Saturday, Sunday as well. I see a lot of people interacting with me over the weekend, so we're going to be doing that as well. That's the plan as of now. Go ahead with your questions or anything you have. I am going to get back to my work. Just hit that subscribe and that poll as well. I want to know what happens to the poll, so let me know how that is. Yeah, so we're looking at pretty much a flat day when it opens. Markets down about barely down, like up about 8%. So we're pretty flat. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a great day. We did sell off about 2% from the highs to the lows. So as of yesterday, most likely we'll get the Supreme Court deciding on something about the tariffs today. So that might happen as well. Uh, Keep in mind that they can't really go against what Trump is saying, and they do not want to let him have a free hand as well. So, irrespective, it's going to be a bullish scenario. Yeah, hi, Mohammed. I can see you there. What's up? How's it going? Hi, how are you? So, make sure you guys go in and hit that. Decide whatever you want about the poll. I want to see what happens at the end of all of this. What is it that most people are voting for? So, I don't know if there's a claps. Are those claps? Okay. Thanks for the claps, Mohammed. Have you become a subscriber yet? Make sure you are. I would like to see you in all of the videos and the lives next time as well. So join in, buddy. We are getting some data. We're going to be getting personal income, consumer spending as well. That comes in today. So let me see what time it comes. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much. All the best to you too, bro. Makasi, my friend, Makasi. I don't have anything planned, so go ahead with whatever you're doing or ask me a question. I'll come in and answer. Otherwise, I'll just continue with my stuff. Wait, don't you guys have a pinned command? Did I not pin it yet? Okay, hold up. Let me try pinning it. Oh no, it is pinned. Okay, cool. I thought it was not pinned. My bad. Afternoon, bruh. How's it going? Nice to see you joining in. Good. I think you missed the morning live. That was fun. Uh, Sharik joined in that one. Nice to see you joining this. If you guys want to see the view, here you go. Look at that. Oh yeah, just join in tomorrow morning as well. Hi, buddy. Yeah, that was most likely going to happen. Appeals court was going to allow the current tariff levies. It wasn't going to go through the appeals court. I mean, that's the point of an appeal, right? To some extent, they have to allow it. That being said, I think it's going to go to the Supreme Court today. So let's see what the Supreme Court says. In the morning, I was basically coming back to the same story. Like, in a gist, what I'm trying to tell people is that necessarily it could be bullish because the Supreme Court's not going to want to take. Supreme Court's like a diplomatic ambassador, you know, they just want to take both sides. So they're going to tell him that, hey, listen, don't go crazy by just putting tariffs whenever you want on everything you want. Do it sector specific and chill out a bit. So they're just going to put it in their lawful language and give it out to him. And I'm pretty sure he already knows what's going to happen in the Supreme Court. Like, to some extent, he's already prepared himself from the aspect of trying to see whether he's going to be getting people to fight him on it or no. So I don't really think it's that much of an issue. I don't think a week from now we're even going to be talking about this. What happened was we went into a euphoria trying to think that the rally that we're seeing is going to sustain. I wasn't very sure about that. Just to a large extent, large part of the rally was NVIDIA based also. So keep that in mind. I don't really think it's going to be that much of an issue. I think people are making a bigger thing out of it than required. It's not like the tariffs were going to go away just because one court decided no. If the Supreme Court still decides no, that could be a big thing. That could genuinely be a big thing. But that would create more uncertainty. You know, you're poking a bear unnecessarily, so maybe don't do that at this moment. I think the world can live with a 10% tariff rather than poking him and trying to get like a 40% on everybody in the world and, you know, all of that other nonsense. This is uncertainty. Why create it when you don't necessarily need it? Yeah, president's invitation. So basically, they met. He gave his story. The other guy gave his story. That's about it. Nothing really fascinating happened in the whole scenario. But that's that. Uh, Again, I don't really think it's going to be that much of an issue. He's pretty okay with the Powell thing now. He settled himself down. He realized he can't do anything with Powell. Powell's going to do his bit. So, not really too much of an issue. I don't think the Fed is going to be much of an issue. We were talking about this in this morning, saying will it be beneficial if the Fed cuts rates? I would say if the Fed's not cutting rates this year, it's going to be a lot more beneficial than uh, anything else, right? It's just simpler that way. Yeah, he did honestly refuse to kiss the king's ring. That's kind of true. That's not part of his mandate. So we need some things to be a little independent, right? So yeah, go ahead with any of your questions. Just subscribe and comment or whatever you want to do. It's all chill. I have shit to do any which way, so I'm going to continue doing that. I'm just doing this pre-market, and then we'll see how the market goes. Maybe for a few hours, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Let's see. Let's see how things goes. But I don't think the Fed and Trump are going to be much of an issue. Neither do I think Supreme Court tariffs and all of this are going to be an issue. In a few days or maximum a week, we're all just going to come back to square one and realize that we're back to what it was last Wednesday before the EU tariffs were even thought about, announced, whatever it was. Now, it's just like they're back on one day, back off another day, all of that nonsense. Right? Let me see what he says. Trump's team plots Plan B for imposing tariffs, summarize the court appeal sales, president's advisor. Yeah, I mean, dude, they don't really need to do too much to think about it. Basically, the court, in its previous ruling that blocked the tariffs, came out and said you can't just go on a country and put indiscriminate tariffs and call it national security. You can do it against particular sectors. So what they're saying is that you can take 10 sectors and put it against it. Don't put it against a country, which is basically beats the purpose, but they can always do that. So it's nothing too crazy to. I mean, in all honesty, it's nothing too crazy. Just let it roll and let's see what happens. My bad is people are just making too much out of it. So should we be worried about the COVID resurgence? Nah, buddy. If we know about the resurgence before everybody else, it's pretty much a non-issue. Just remember not to worry about things that are already in the news. Worry about things that people don't worry about. As of now, everyone's not worrying about a COVID resurgence, but if it's just a few hundred cases here and there and some new ass variant, it's just not really that much of an issue. Yeah, take your time, bro. Hmm. I don't think there's anything crazy in terms of news happening today. There's PCE coming, consumer spending, wholesale inventories, but that's about it. Nothing too fancy. Which is cool. Yeah, PCE comes out. We got some Fed Reserve people peaking. We got Chicago PMI. We got wholesale inventories. We got UMIS sentiment data. A lot of data coming out today. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a bullish day. I don't think it's going to be a bearish day. But what do I know? Drop your questions, guys, if you have anything. Anything on your mind you want to talk about, drop it in. I'm game for anything. Maybe if it gets too hot, I'll change my place. So you guys can move with me then.
Bongkar tapi 2,5 itu aja kan ya? Iya tambah rangka gitu Bang. Di atas usul itu nggak ada.
What will be fun to see is whether Nvidia starts. If Nvidia is able to break its yesterday's high, I think we'll see 150 pretty soon. So yesterday's high is going to be pretty important. Till the time that doesn't break, nothing's actually going to happen. It'd just be a dead scenario.
Lebih simpel ya. Oh, kalau aku bisa Mas. Sekarang. Bongkarnya itu ya hati-hati Mas ya. Nampak itu agak ini soalnya
Let's see.
Pentingnya garam soalnya kemarin itu pakai bambu ke dalam. Jadi model nampak bambu gitu. Harusnya aku kan.
I'm not sure if we have anything crazy happening other than this. Let's see what's new. Yeah, nothing crazy though. White House considering stopgap effort to impose tariffs on a lot of global economy under the never before used provision 122. It would allow tariffs of up to 15% for 150 days. That would give time to put in place more durable tariffs on 301, which is what the administration used on China.
Tapi jangan jelek kan tampilannya jadi bagian
Yes, I think if the Supreme Court stands its ground, it's going to pretty much be easy going. I think it's going to be bullish.
Pasang platnya itu di situ. Kemarin sih PR pasang plat itu Bang.
Hmm. We'll see. I think that was one of Trump's biggest tweets that came out against what the US Court of International Trade basically came on and put against Trump. Oh, I should be honest, I mean,
Kelihatannya Pak di
I think all of it is bullish at this moment.
pas itu pas naik di samping naik naik di samping. Sampingnya ada lubang manhole itu loh. Manhole.
Let me see what else is happening.
Kan ada tuh jejak samping.
So Barron says tariffs are off, back on. Stock market needed a catalyst, so naturally it got a handful of them, maybe too many.
Kelihatan ya? Nah itu ada rangka kan lagi. Numpang ke musuh gitu. Iya.
I mean, shout out to all those interior designers that work so hard.
Jadi lebih efektif
But yeah.
bongkar sebenarnya sih. Memang agak gimana? Kalau tahu iya. Gimana Pak enaknya? Lebih akan lebih mahal bongkar apa install?
Yeah, I'm just doing this for fun, guys. We're gonna keep this on for a while. Let's see what happens. Everyone's working. You got architects, interior designers. I don't know who else here working. Everyone's working hard. Yes, let's see. Any of your questions, go ahead and ask. I'm gonna work till then.
Ya udah. Cuma nanti kalau misalnya memang salah nih Pak, perkuatannya itu nanti dibikin. Nanti kan pasti akan di ya, ya, sudah langsung penawaran aja. Kalau mau itu kau kan mau bikin yang sebelum ke Mas Boris. Nah, itu kan ada material gitu. Di dalam. Ada di pekerjaan itu ada material. Ini material gede itu. Ini gede sudah. Tuh. Banyak kan pas bulan.
Yeah, those who sold the pop in response to last night's court ruling were vindicated when an appeals court temporarily preserved the tariffs while the Trump administration appeals. I'm guessing this thing's going to last longer than most people believe it will, but it's not going to be bearish, in my opinion.
Ya soalnya penambangnya luas sih. Boleh Pak, boleh. Ya.
Yeah, let's see. An auction of the 7-year Treasury notes also saw solid demand, a relief for those who are now forced to pay more attention to bond auctions in the wake of this month's rise in bond yields. So I don't really think that's making too much of an issue, anyways. So Nvidia rallied about 3.3%, lifted chip stocks. Bureau of Economic Analysis revised its first quarter GDP estimate up a tenth of a percentage point to a decline of 0.2%. So it looks like everything's going pretty well. So it's all cool. Yeah, Moderna's been taking a hit for all the reasons that it's currently going through. Jensen Wang is supposed to be selling 800 million of Nvidia stock. Great. Now the question is he going to want the price to go higher before he sells, or what's the play there? Because that's going to be an important one to track. Costco's earnings came out, those beat estimates. Stocks are rising, we'll go through that. I don't know what's happening with Berkshire. I'm not sure if the stock price is falling. Let's see what happens there. Let me see. I'm not sure if the internet's still working or something's off. Yeah, okay. Go back. Cool. The internet just shat on us for a bit. Yeah, Uber's the one that's falling about 4.4%. Uber's been falling because Tesla's saying that it's going to get its self-driving cars working in June itself. They're going to test a single car in June, which is next week, and then they're going to bump that up. So this sell in May and go away trade didn't really work for everyone, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Drop in with any of your questions, any comments that you have. Go ahead and vote, subscribe, do everything that you have to keep me happy. The more interactions I have and the better the subscribers get, the more amount of time I'm going to be spending on this platform. It's just going to be good fun at the moment. Uh, just trying to see a few things if we have anything. What's this New York Times Inc.'s AI licensing deal with Amazon? I mean, let me just check what's happening there. They signed a multi-year licensing agreement to use the Times editorial for AI-related uses. I don't know what does that have to do with. So last year in February, Reddit inked a content licensing deal with Google, which would allow access to its content to train the search giant's AI model. So the better that Gemini gets, the better it will be for Reddit. I think there's a direct correlation there. I think as of now, for May, we're up about 5% for the S&P. That's actually a good number. I don't remember the last time it happened. I think about 20 years back is when it happened. It's been a while. You guys played anything on the PlayStation recently? Oh, see that. Okay, our firm expands partnership with Williams Sonoma into Canada. That's yesterday's news. Let me see. Anything more? Anything more? Yeah, so we do this almost every day at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's when we get a lot more of our stock market guys coming in and talking. So make sure you join in for those calls. Go ahead and vote. And if you guys have any questions about the markets today or the future, drop it in to the chat. We'll talk about it. Anything related to economy or geopolitics. If it's beyond my circle of competence, I will let you know. Let's see what else is happening. Okay, Uber stock is slumping. Why Tesla is to blame? So Tesla's on track to launch a robotaxi service in Austin on June 12th. Reaffirming plans, CEO Elon Musk shared with CNBC's David Faber last week. Musk did say that the rollout would be slow, beginning with a fleet of around 10, but that number could tick up soon. We'll probably be at 1,000 within a few months. So, and then we'll expand to other cities. Successful rollout may not eat into Uber's ride-hailing dominance right away, but could present a long-term challenge. So keep that in mind. If you want to continue investing in Uber, you got to be a bit smart. You got to look at a few things. You want to go against Elon or no is the question. That's the $100 billion question for Uber. I continue to believe that Tesla serves as a long-term threat.
Sambungannya ada nggak sama kamu? Buat nyambung di bawah.
So Uber did close about 4.4% lower, so all the way down to $84.39. Not sure how all of this plays out, but just keep in mind. I mean, this will be a fun scenario. What happens between Tesla and Uber? That'll be worth a watch. That's for sure. Because you want to know what exactly is going to turn around with some of these companies, right? Would it be worse off? Would it be better off? What exactly is going to play out? It's going to be pretty. Anyways, let's get on with Uber. Some of them are still bullish, some of them are not. I'll just stay a bit away from it. I used to own it in the 60s, sold it off in the 80s or somewhere. I don't know. It's just too much of risk when it comes to Elon. At the moment, things might change. But let's see. Let's see. So the initial claims for unemployment was on the high end of the recent range, but not through it. Continuing claims, however, did break through to multi-year highs. Both remain low by historical standards. That's okay. Yeah, for anyone that's new, just go ahead, subscribe, comment, whatever. Do the poll as well. I want to know what it ends at.
Lagi libur apa? Masuk Pak, libur apa ya? Oh iya. Perayaan Canggu Pak. Ya kan Sabtu juga peserta ya.
Yeah, let's see if some of this works out for today, especially when the market's pretty flat at the moment, at least in the futures market.
Iya udah. Saya lebih aja deh nggak apa. Tapi gini Pak, saya paling enggak. Enggak kayak gitu.
But yeah, this morning also we were talking about it. So in a way, it is something that has been happening. We've been seeing it happen in the market. Prices are going up and then collapsing a bit. So let's see what exactly turns around, what happens. Still, you should be able to head about 15 to 20% higher as well for the year, and 12 months out, you're usually higher 15%. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so we still got about like 4 votes, and that's already 3 out of the 4 have said that the market's going to go higher. So at the moment, we're still looking at prices heading higher and higher. Let's see what happens. This will be fun. Let me go ahead and see if I can share this. Treasury Secretary Besson says US-China trade talks are a bit stalled and may need a Trump G call to move forward. Besant expects more talks in the next few weeks. So that's bad news at the moment. You're not looking at that being a good scenario, but a Trump's recall happening might not be a bad scenario as well. Let's see. No point in jumping the gun and thinking too much at the moment. Let's see if these tariffs hold because of the Supreme Court. That's more important as of now. Trump's going to hold a press conference with Elon on Friday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be fun as well. Let's see what happens there. We're still at 21,300 on the Nasdaq, so it's just down 27 points, which is not too much. I mean, we could open in the green, it could be flat. It's par for the course. A lot of the agentic AI is taking off. So if you see Box as a company that also came out with its earnings, it looks like there's been some form of a move that happens, and a lot of that is being taken over. AI in the form of agents is taking a huge hit. It is going ballistic. So you're seeing some of these agentic AI stocks doing pretty well. But let's see what happens. It's a little too hot. I mean, the 10-year yield has also been at 4.41, so it's not really picking up. So it's pretty much a dead day. At the moment, it's even coming lower. We were at 4.44, down to 4.41 now. So we're able to break below yesterday's low. We can see it go much lower, and then it'll be better. Hmm. If you have any questions or anything, just drop in. I'm just going to shift my place, so give me a few minutes. Make sure to like, subscribe, and go ahead. Whatever you want, just hit the poll as well. Be like a few minutes. Yeah, Berkshire is still at 500. So I don't really know what this Barron's article is saying about the stock slipping. I can't see it slip anywhere, so I'm not sure what they're saying. Oops, 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 oops. So let's see. It should be fun. Okay, so maybe it's like an hour in. We'll quit it. I'm going to continue working for some time. And maybe if I get some time later, I'll put up another link and then we can go live together. Okay, thanks, guys. Let me just close out this. It's kind of too hot. So I'm gonna go. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and let me know. Let me just end the poll. Okay, see you guys. Tune in next time. Bye bye.